Morning and good evening to everyone. Let's look at a wonderful feature available in the latest versions of PrestoDB. First, let's look at one of the concepts that has been published by Facebook Engineering back in 2019. It's called Aria Presto, and the diagram is illustrating what exactly Aria Presto is doing. It is doing some great optimizations in the queries. So if you look at the architecture and the query before setting up the Aria Presto based settings, you will see that whenever there is a query, the table scan is happening for the entire data, and then the filter conditions are applied, and then it will take the relevant fields. Whereas if you apply Aria Presto, rather than spending the time for multiple stages, whenever the table scan is happening at the time, it will apply the full filter so that the subsequent stages are eliminated, unnecessary stages are eliminated, and you get the data very quickly. I will give you an example. So I have MinIO running. MinIO is a local S3 that you can use for your data lakes. You don't have to rely on cloud-based architectures, but instead on-premise S3 can be implemented using a tool like MinIO, very stable and widely used local simple storage service. And then we are going to have Presto running, and I'm going to start Presto. As you can see here, there is nothing I need to do other than setting up the configurations for catalogs when we start Presto. Alright, the Presto server is now running. Ignore the errors. Why? Because I have not added all the connectors. And as you can see here, the server is running, and it is ready for service. Now let's go and start the client. So my Presto server is running on localhost, and we start Presto. Alright, now what we are going to do is that let's do a count star from a particular table, and let us look at the query plan that is being created by Presto, right? So explain tells us how the query is getting executed, right? So you can see, if you look at the output, fragment 1 is executed first, followed by fragment 0. Always you should read it from bottom to top. And when you are querying, my table contains 100,836 rows. You can see that it is going to scan the entire rows, and look at the last line. There are no push down predicate being applied at all, right? So that's the query plan, and you can just execute the query as usual. You won't see much difference, but already we have seen how the plan is going to be, and you get 81,763 rows as the output. You can see near to 1 millisecond was the time that is taken for executing it. Now comes the fun. Let's use the area based settings. So first thing is, we are going to tell that the subfield pushdown has to be enabled. This is the area feature. And then we are going to tell that for our connector, which is the MinIO based connector, pushdown filter has to be enabled. So you make these two settings and then execute the same explain plan that we have executed earlier. And if you look, you will see an additional line on the last, and you will see the number of rows being scanned. You see how minimal it is compared to the earlier 100,000 rows. It has been reduced to 90,752 rows. Why? Because the entire query is now getting pushed down because of the area based session settings. And now if you execute the same query, it will get the result. You will get the result, but it is even not measurable, the time. It's highly fast. So please use area based settings when you are querying using Presto. Thanks for listening.